In this video, we're going to talk about how to do an assignment of contract when you're wholesaling real estate. All that and more coming right up. Hey everybody, it's Jamel Gibbs with the REI Education Academy, helping you close deals consistently in your real estate investing business. And on this channel, what we do are real estate investing how-to videos and tutorials, as well as videos of me actually investing in real estate. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. And at any point in this video, if I mention any resources, those resources will be linked in the description box below in case you want to get started with them right away. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump into today's video. What we're going to do is talk about how to do an assignment of contract in your wholesale business. And I'm also going to show you how to get a copy of the assignment of contract that I use at the ending of this video. So be sure to stick around until the very end. Now, there's three key things that I want to talk about when it comes to assigning contracts. And I want you to implement this stuff in order to be able to be effective in your real estate investing business. Now, the first thing that you always want to keep in mind when it comes to assigning contracts is to put the purchase amount that you've actually put the property under contract for on the assignment of agreement. So whatever you negotiated with the motivated seller, you want to make sure that that amount is on the assignment of agreement. In addition to that, you want to be sure to have your assignment fee on that contract as well. And make sure that behind your assignment fee, you always put net and you always put non-refundable as well. All right. And the reason for that is because when you put net behind your assignment fee, the attorney then knows that you're not paying any of the closing costs. You're walking from the table with the amount that you have on that agreement. The reason why you put non-refundable is in case the buyer tries to back out at the last minute, they're still going to owe you that money unless you cannot perform. In addition to that, you want to put the total amount of both of the purchase amount as well as your assignment fee on that agreement. So let's just say, for example, you purchase a property for $50,000 and you assign that contract for a $10,000 wholesale fee. You're then going to take $50,000 for the purchase amount and then $10,000 for the assignment amount. You're going to total it up and you're going to add that to the contract, which is going to be $60,000. So you got $50,000, $10,000 totaled up equals $60,000, which is the amount that the buyer, your end buyer, is actually going to pay for the property. All right. Now, once you have that out of the way, you want to make sure that your buyer always puts down an earnest money deposit, whether it be through you or it be through the title company or the attorney, depending on the state that you live in. Different states have different laws and different ways of closing deals. All right, so you have to find out what's working best in your area. I know in Virginia, you can use an attorney or a title company. In North Carolina, we use attorneys. In New York City, you use attorneys. In Pennsylvania, you use title companies, all right? So you just have to figure out what actually works best in your area. Now, once you have that out of the way, you want to make sure that you get an earnest money deposit from your end buyer. Now, typically, when it comes to the earnest money deposit, I make that non-refundable as well, all right? And what I like to do when it comes to the earnest money deposit is I like to collect at least $1,000 or double the amount that I've actually put down on the contract. Here's what I mean by that. So let's say I put $10 down on a contract with a motivated seller. When I sell my contract to my buyer, I want to collect at least $1,000 from that buyer to ensure that they have a significant amount of skin in the game and they won't back out of the deal. Now, if I put down, let's say $1,000 on a property, let's say it's an MLS property or the seller and I just negotiated a higher amount. If I put down more money, I'm looking to collect double from my buyer. So if it's $1,000 in this case, I'm going to collect at least $2,000 from my buyer. If I put down $5,000, I'm going to collect $10,000. Long story short, basically what we're doing is collecting at least $1,000 or double the amount that I've actually put down on the agreement, whichever is greater. So we have the purchase agreement. We have the assignment amount that we're actually going to make on the contract. We have the total and we have the earnest money deposit, and all of that is non-refundable up to this point. The last thing that I like to do is I like to add a closing date to the contract that is before my closing date if it's possible. So I'm not going to twist the buyer's arm if they can't close it before my closing date, but I like to give myself enough breathing room in order to be able to find another buyer if this particular buyer backs out of the deal or they can't perform. So what I like to do is give myself at least a week. Years ago, I used to give myself 2 days, but I wanted to give myself more time. These days, it works a lot better for me, and it's more of a protection for me to be able to find another buyer on the deal. So let's just say, for example, I sign a contract today and I have 30 days to close that contract. I'm gonna give my buyer 21 days to close the contract. And the reason for that is, again, if the buyer decides to back out at day 21, I still have a few more days to be able to find another buyer and get the deal done. And if you find real buyers, if you have real cash buyers on your buyers list, a real cash buyer who's paying cash for a property, as long as the title and everything is done, they can close it the next day or 2 to 3 days later. So that's never a problem. I've done it a lot of times. All right, so just to recap, basically what you want to do is make sure you have the purchase amount, the assignment of agreement amount, the assignment fee on the contract as well. And you want to make sure that all of that's non-refundable. You want to make sure that you have the earnest money deposit, collect at minimum of $1,000 or more based off of the amount that you've actually put down. And then you also want to make sure that you have enough time on a closing date so that if the buyer backs out or they can't perform, meaning they can't close the deal at the last minute, you still have some time to find another buyer. So you want your buyer closing a lot faster than you. So if you utilize these 3 key points, you keep these things in mind when it comes to filling out your assignment of contract, then you're not going to have any problems, or at least you're going to minimize your problems that you have when it comes to wholesaling real estate. Now, if you want a copy of the assignment of agreement that I use in my business, check the description box below. There's going to be a link that you can click on. I will ask for your email so I can send you the document, but watch this video again as you read through the document and you'll see exactly what I was talking about. Like this video, share it with your friends, and also subscribe to this channel and click the notification bell for more videos just like this one that's coming up every single week. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll talk to you next time. Take care.